What's good, YouTube? Hope all is well with you. This is Fragrance 1914 coming to you with my long-awaited, well, at least for me it is, long-awaited summer list. This is my top 10 summer list for 2017. These are the 10 fragrances that I will be wearing this up-and-coming summer. I figured I'd get this video out at least a week before the Memorial Day weekend, so I could get people enough time, if they do value my opinion, to go out there and try to get something that will work for them for this summer. You've got to definitely try these fragrances out. I will say beforehand, you're going to see a lot of bottles that look full, and that is because, at the time that I purchased them, they're full, and I probably don't use them as much because I've sampled them so many times that, I've still been wearing out a little bit of my spring fragrances. I've been wearing out spring fragrances, mixing in a little bit of summer, but a lot of these every single fragrance on this list has been sampled, and I mean sampled a lot. I don't put anything on my top 10 list, or any list for that matter, as far as putting a video out, unless I've sampled it several times on my skin. Sample it on your skin, not on paper. I mean, paper's great, but I've been fooled several times where I thought, oh, it smells so great on paper, then you spray it on your skin and you're depressed because you bought a bottle based off of smelling on paper. Don't ever do that. I'm suspecting most people who would watch these videos already know that, but if you don't, just in case, definitely spray it on your skin first and see how it works. So again, all top 10 of these fragrances have been sampled by me on my skin, and I love them, and I really think it's going to work for me, so I hope that this can help somebody out. So here we go with our number 10. Coming in at number 10, you know what, you love it, from the house of Perry Ellis, a summer favorite. This is not what you thought it would be. Yeah, go ahead, admit it. You thought it was going to be Perry Ellis 360 Red. You thought it was going to be 360 Red, but no. Nothing against 360 Red, but this here is Perry Ellis Reserve. And you know what? I like this one. I like Perry Ellis 360 Red, don't get me wrong. It is definitely a summer favorite. And by all means, check out the whole Perry Ellis line. You might be surprised in terms of, how many you might think you actually like from that house. Definitely a cheapie. This only cost $17. But Perry Ellis Reserve is one that, you know what? I was comparing the two, Reserve and 360 Red, and this time I have to give the nod to Reserve. The main accords are aromatic, fresh, spicy, woody, citrus, and floral. I really don't get a floral at all on the base, on the dry down, which is what I'm suspecting where this floral was supposed to come in. But for me, this is a fresh, spicy. This is aromatic, definitely. This is fresh, clean. This is one that I would say you could definitely go with summer nights. I mean, summer during the day, definitely you could do it. I say this is like for an occasion where you're going out during the day or during the night, and it's to like like a special event. Special event, maybe not necessarily casual, maybe dressing, maybe upscale. If you're looking for a cheapie and you can't afford that much, this is definitely one you can wear with a suit and tie. This is definitely one you can wear to like an all-white party or whatever, that's kind of upscale, that's kind of, you definitely want to impress and you want to be fresh and clean and smell good in that regard. It's not a soapy scent. It's not a soapy scent, fresh, clean, but it is fresh, clean, and like, I don't know, maybe like clean, fresh. I don't want to say linen, like it smells like linen. It doesn't smell like linen to me, but it's a fresh, spicy, clean type of upscale. You can use it for upscale or use it for any type of that type of event. But again, coming in at number 10, Perry Ellis Reserve. All right. So coming in at number 9, this is definitely one that is familiar with a lot of people. Definitely one that's a fan favorite, I would say. You could probably, I would deem it, I'm going to go ahead and deem it the best cheapie on the planet, possibly. Fresh, aquatic, like the ocean. Coach Rob, shout out to Coach Rob, it said this is San Diego in a bottle. And at number 9, I'm talking about Nautica Voyage. only got this small 1.7 ounce because there's a lot of other fragrances that I want to be wearing, primarily these the other 9 in this list. But this is a go-to for, I would say, definitely for people who know about it. I don't think the younger crowd's going to know about this. Doesn't mean it wouldn't work. But for me, I got a small bottle. I'm definitely going to use this for people who are my age that remember it and, bring back some memories, hopefully some good ones. If some bad ones, I apologize ahead of time. But this fragrance is definitely, you can't go wrong with this fragrance. You definitely can't go wrong with this fragrance. And it's a crowd pleaser. I don't know anybody who doesn't like the smell of this fresh, clean, aquatic scent. So again, coming in at number 9, this is Nautica Voyage. Coming in at number 8, from the house of Sean John, we have what has been known to be, I don't really want to deem anything a clone just because, I'm not, who am I to say that? But it's been deemed a Creed Millésime Imperial clone, and of course we are talking about Sean John's Unforgivable. I got, again, this is a 2.5 ounce bottle. I got this one because, I hadn't smelled it in a long time. And maybe about 2 months ago, and I was like, I was in TJ Maxx, and I was like, you know what, let me try this out again. And I really liked it. I really liked it, and I hadn't smelled it in so long. But I really liked it, and I was like, let me go ahead and get a small bottle of this. This one didn't cost, this was 21, 22 plus tax. So it was like 19 and then 22, I think it came out to. But this one is, again, it's known as a Millésime Imperial clone, and it's definitely, mirrors it. I'm going to say mirrors. I don't know if I could say clone. Take it for what it's worth, but I'm definitely going to say mirrors it. It definitely has the fruitiness, kind of a watermelon vibe, and then the saltiness. It's got the saltiness. The saltiness is not that strong at all. So I get fruity, I get salty, and I think it works for this. It works for the summertime. It's not going to last that long. It's not that strong. So to me, it works for me. I personally don't need a fragrance to last 8 hours. I don't need a fragrance to last 10 hours because, for one, I'm never at any time and place where I'm at, where I need the fragrance to last that long. I go to an event, I go to socialize, whatever. I'm only there for maybe 2, maybe 4 hours. I'm never any one place all day, and I don't know that I would want to smell like one thing or one fragrance all day unless it's just, something I just absolutely love. I'm not there with this fragrance. That's part of why it comes in at number 8. But it is still, like I said, a good fragrance. Doesn't project that much. But, even close to the skin, if you're in close proximity to people, they will smell this, and I think they will enjoy it. So number 8, Sean John Unforgivable. I'm going to try to speed this thing up. So, coming in at number 7. This one was surprised. I was surprised by this one. Number 7, I was surprised by, and but it's really come on strong to where I think I'm going to be using this a lot, especially at settings like we see right now. We're at the beach. To me, this is like an artifact that Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'm dating myself. Indiana Jones dug up in the mountains or in the cave or something like that, and it's got like magical powers. You can think that it has magical powers just by looking at it. And I'm talking about what I have dubbed the bronze beacon. That is Bulgari Aqua Amara. I know you're kind of having trouble seeing this, but let me get a close up here. I know it's kind of hard to see the lettering. I was trying to have a good setting for you guys. But this is Bulgari's Aqua Amara. You can see that Bulgari right there. And then let me get in the light. Woo! Right there. Look at that angle. Look at the shot. Look at the shot. Aqua Amara. There you go. So this one is a bright neroli. It's aquatic. A little bit of citrus in it. I definitely appreciate this fragrance for being only, let's see, I think I paid $30 for this one. And this is a good steal. This is a good, most department stores are going to charge you probably like $70 or $80 for this thing. and online retailer and discount department stores. I got this for $30, and it's like $34, I would say, with tax. So definitely a good one. This is the Bronze Beacon, I'm calling it. Bulgari's. Let me get that shot. Whoa, right there. There you go. There you go. There you go. Focus. 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 There it is. Bulgari's Aqua Amara coming in at number 7. All right, coming in at number 6. I had my frat brother smell this, and he was like, yeah, this is a Boss fragrance. And I would have to agree. This is what you would probably call, you could call a Boss fragrance. How fitting is it? And he doesn't know anything about the fragrances as far as clones and whatnot, but how fitting that, you know, what he thought was a Boss fragrance, and I was like, yeah, this could be seen as a Boss fragrance, is a Creed clone, or known as, again, a Creed clone. I can't really say that it's a clone, but this is one of the two that it smelled the closest to Creed Aventus for me, and that is Al Haramain's LaVenture. Sun is setting, this tree is in the way, so gotta get it in the best way that I can. There it is, Al Haramain's LaVenture. So this is the juice right here. And this is the bottle. This is technically a 3-ounce bottle. Doesn't look like it from the bottle, but it's supposed to be. So Al Haramain's LaVenture, definitely, gotta leave it out here for a minute, definitely a Creed clone in that sense. I can't get away from saying it, but it smells like Creed Aventus. I also have Club de Nuit's Intense Man, and that smells like Creed Aventus, but because of the heavier smokiness to me, I like that one for colder months. So fall, you'll definitely see that again, like last year on my fall and winter list. But for the summertime, for the warm weather, if you can't afford Creed Aventus, then definitely I would say Al Haramain's LaVenture is the way to go. The only one I haven't smelled as far as supposed Creed clones is Pineapple Vintage. I haven't smelled that yet. I'm not going to be able to get my hands on that anytime soon. So I'm going with Al Haramain's LaVenture here at number 6. Alrighty. Putting it back in the box. Let me know if you want an individual review on any of these. I can definitely do that for you by request. Alright, coming in at number 5. We're getting up there, This is a new kid on the block. I'm going to say. New kid on the block. Came out last year in 2016. And when I smelled this, it was, you know, it's one of those where, okay, it is probably a lot of people would probably consider just another fresh citrus, marine, aquatic type fragrance. Nothing special, but to me, this was done right. This was done right in the sense that, you know, it smells good. It smells like quality. It doesn't smell cheap or anything like that. And I don't even know how you can measure dollar amount in a fragrance. You know, I know the whole thing about natural and synthetic and stuff like that, but hey, I've been fooled. There's been synthetic things that smell really good and natural things that smell awful. So who's to say? It all depends on the nose, the eye of the nose holder. Yeah. So, okay, coming in at number 5, this is one that I don't believe is very well known. This is Alfred & Hoff's number 2. Alfred & Hoff's number 2. And I'm going to put this box out just because it's a new one. Maybe you haven't seen it before. So, Alfred & Hoff, and the H, I don't know if you can see it here. The H is like all over the box like that. It's a hard box. So you pop it open from the bottom and then it comes out. But this is Alfred & Hoff's number 2. There's only 3 fragrances, Alfred & Hoff, number 1, number 2, and number 3. There's no way that you can mistaken this bottle as far as number 1, number 2, and number 3. This is number 2. This is like the orange, not orange, teal/greenish juice here with the silver cap. Number 1 is like some yellow, orange, not yellow, but orangish brown juice. And then number 3 is a totally dark bottle. So there's no way that you can mistaken number 1 for number 2 or number 2 for number 3 or anything like that. This is Alfred and Hoff's number 2. And this one I get bergamot, I get citrus, other citruses. I get more so in the dry down, kind of a marine aquatic vibe. And definitely it mellows down in terms of the dry down to a fresh, clean. It has a little bit of spice in it. I don't consider this one too spicy at all. A little bit of spice in the dry down, but this is just fresh, clean, aquatic, marine, and it just works. It works for me. It works on my skin. I really do like it, and I think it's going to turn some heads. So again, Alfred and Hoff's number 2, coming in at number 5. All right, number 4. Number 4 is one of those fragrances from the house of Acqua di Parma. Now, Acqua di Parma, the Blue Mediterranean series. Now, I've searched YouTube, and for some reason, this one seems to be the least talked about in terms of the Blue Mediterranean series. But I like this one the best. Maybe people think it's linear because it's one note that's strong, one type of citrus that's strong, and I think it lasts throughout the entire fragrance from beginning to end, opening to dry down. But when it's done right, and I think it deserves some praise. Acqua di Parma's Bergamoto di Calabria. The Bergamoto di Calabria. Let's get that close up. Can we get it? There it is. Right. 2.5 ounce. This one to me was my favorite. This is the one that I like the most. And that one definitely hits a special spot for me in terms of, like I said, it's bergamot. I've heard a lot about Bergamoto or Bergamot 22. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't smelled that though. But this is by far, I would say, the best bergamot fragrance that I've smelled. Problem is, it doesn't last too long, but that's all going to change for me this summer because of my number 1. So I'm alluding to my number 1 fragrance, and once you see number 1, you'll understand why that's going to be a game changer for this one as well as other fragrances on this list. So coming in at number 4, Acqua di Parma's Blue Mediterranean Bergamoto di Calabria. All right. Coming in at number 3, this one is special to me. This one is my most sampled fragrance of all time. You've heard me talk about like my most complimented last year, my most complimented of all time, which is still Tommy Bahama's Very Cool. This is my most sampled. I get samples of this over the years before I even thought about reviewing fragrances. I got more samples of this fragrance than any other fragrance because I always got compliments. It always smelled good. At first, I couldn't smell it on me, but people around me could smell it. I never got a negative reaction from this from a lady. Never. Not once. So that's why I always sampled it. And I said, when I can afford it, I'm going to get it. And of course, back then when I was sampling all the time, I didn't know about online retailers. I don't even know if they were around at that time in terms of the ones that I trust and that I know. I go to fragrancenet.com and I go to Notino. Back then, I think it was Beauty Spin. But I didn't know about those websites, so I wasn't going to pay department store prices, and that's all I knew. So I just sampled and sampled and sampled and sampled. And like I said, nothing gets on my list without me sampling it. But this is my most sampled fragrance of all time. And when you see it, you'll understand why. This is Mont Blanc Legend. Let's get it going right there. Mont Blanc Legend. Let's get you a close-up. This has to be a well-known bottle. I stressed this in previous videos. Mont Blanc, to me, is a dark horse house. I like several fragrances from this house. I probably would have to say it is my favorite house right now because, Mont Blanc Individual gets a lot of praise, a lot of hype, but there's at least 3 to 4 fragrances that I like from Mont Blanc, and I don't know that I like more than 1 or 2 fragrances from any house at this point. in my fragrance journey, which has only been, as far as reviewing, it's only been a little over a year now. So this is about 1 year for me as far as fragrance videos on YouTube. But this one is tried and true. I'm calling this guy Mr. Reliable. Mr. Reliable. Like I said, I don't know of anybody who smelled this on me or smelled this period that doesn't like it. This is a crowd pleaser. This is what you don't, when you don't know what to wear. This is the go-to. This is the go-to. And like I've said this previously also, as we get higher up in the list toward number 1, I probably use the fragrance less and less because I use it for special occasions. Aside from maybe number 2 on this list, everything is going to be on full blast. It's going to be used. It's going to be experienced in all types of settings, because I just, I really want to give, now that I have full bottles and I'm not sampling like crazy anymore, and I got these at an affordable price, then I'm definitely going to use these and use them well. And I'm definitely going to be experiencing, I think, some really good times this summer with these fragrances. So Mont Blanc Legend coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2. When I smelled this, I was hooked. It was so amazing to me. I was hooked, and of course I had to go online for retail because I wasn't going to pay. I wasn't going to pay retail price. I had to go online for this one, but this one I just loved it from beginning to end. It's fairly new, and this one is from the house of Tom Ford. I didn't think I'd ever be getting what is considered a niche quality, what is a niche fragrance, but this one I had to have, and of course, like I said, on an online retailer, it was definitely at an affordable price. So I was hooked. After sampling this a couple times, I just had to have this. This is probably the coolest bottle that I have ever seen. The coolest bottle that I have ever seen. And we were talking about from the house of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino Aqua. Let's get it. There it is. Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino Aqua. This is the coolest bottle I have ever seen. This is the coolest bottle. Love it. So we got Tom Ford right there. There it is. This is the coolest bottle. Citrus, neroli, aquatic. I would say more so in the dry down. I can't really smell the aquatic in the opening. Even as just an eau de toilette. I'm sorry. I gotta get that right. An EDT. Even as just an EDT, this lasts. And this projects well. I've heard things as far as like I've smelled the original Neroli Portofino not that many times, but definitely has a strength. Projection, I think, is along the lines with what a lot of people say as far as the eau de parfum version, that it doesn't last long. But this one lasts. Maybe it's just my skin, but this one definitely lasts. And it's one of those things where I enjoy it so much, from the opening to the mid to the dry down. Everything about this fragrance I enjoy. I really do enjoy. I don't think this one's going to need the help of number 1, but as I stated previously, number 1 is going to help out a lot of fragrances on this list. But number 2, this one is a go-to in terms of special occasions. I'm not going to be using this one that much. This one's going to be special occasion go-to when I'm really trying to impress somebody, when I have maybe even a first date or something like that. This is what is going to grab some attention. Definitely. So Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino Aqua EDT. And finally, at number 1, since I'm a sports guy, so if you want to check out my fragrance channel. You're on the fragrance channel. But if you want to check out my sports channel, it is Blue Analyst 1914. And of course, I talk sports on there. We're in the midst of the NBA playoffs right now. And I bring that up to say that for me, an MVP is not some person who just scores triple doubles and because they don't have nobody else good on their team, so they have to do everything. I don't really believe in that. I believe in one of the attributes. I'm not going to go too much into it, but one of the attributes of an MVP in this case LeBron James I'm talking about, is one of his key attributes that he absolutely has to exude or has to display, has to distribute to his teammates, is making them better. An MVP is a guy who makes his teammates better. To me, he has to make his teammates better. If he's not that, then he's not an MVP, or at least not the MVP of his team. But to me, I'm going to go out on a limb here. People going to think I'm crazy. This is probably going to be controversial, but that's okay. You need a little bit of controversy in your life every now and then. But from the house of eccentric molecules, to me, this is the LeBron James of fragrances. Yes, I said it. This is the LeBron James of fragrances because it makes other fragrances better. Molecule 01. Give you this side. Bang, bang. Give you this side. Bang, bang. Yes, the LeBron James of fragrances. This fragrance, the enhancer, is going to make other fragrances better. I can wear this by itself, and to me, it smells like... I still can't describe what it smells like because it's so peculiar. It's so different. It's just one of those things, it's been said, it was hyped for a while, and I've heard a lot of people hype up this fragrance. Coach Rob was one of the first ones, and I heard about it so many times that by the time I heard it from Kevin Samuels and how he hyped this thing up, that put me over the top to go get a sample. At least I had to order one from Lucky Scent, actually. And once I got the sample, I was like, wow, this is something unusual. This is something unique. And so I tried it on its own, and it smelled like, I still can't describe, but it just bounced, it just springboarded off my skin, and it was literally like an aroma. It literally was like around me, like a bubble. And then I tried it under another fragrance. I tried it under my spring fragrance. Which one did I try it under? I tried it under English Laundry's Arrogant. So English Laundry's Arrogant combined with this bad boy right here, the LeBron James of fragrances. Man, it amplified it and enhanced it. People could smell it from a longer distance. And so this is a number one. This is number one for me. I'll be wearing this on its own. I'll be wearing this under or over the top of or combining it with other fragrances because this is good by itself and it makes the other fragrances better. Helps the projection, helps the longevity. So, coming in at number one, the LeBron James, yes, I said it, of fragrances, Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. So, that is my list. Sorry it's so long. I got to get better at doing these videos, but I promise I will. I'm going to keep working at it. But this is my number one, and I hope you've enjoyed my top 10 list for fragrances for summer 2017. Again, this is Fragrance 1914. Believe until you stop breathing. Until next time. And I'm out.